Let us discuss current affairs today. The first thing, I create center. I create center. India and Israel. Our Prime Minister Modi, Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu together inaugurated I create. I-C-R-E-A-T-E. I create. I-C-R-E-A-T-E. International Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. International Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. International Center for Entrepreneurship and Technology. I create is for innovations, joint innovations, technology collaboration, and to support new startups which have unique innovations. I create was inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi and Benjamin Netanyahu to create a new startup ecosystem and to provide infrastructure and other supports to new innovations. I create will work, and this will help to entrepreneurship and provide support in various technologies like water technology, agriculture technology, solar technology, etc. This is I create. India and Israel. A center was opened in India. A center was opened in India. Next, Cyber Warrior Police Force. Cyber Warrior Police Force. Ministry of Home Affairs is contemplating to start a Cyber Warrior Police Force to investigate cyber crimes in India. Special police force for cyber related issues and security related issues, which was contemplated by Ministry of Home Affairs. Cyber Warrior Police Force. North Korea and South Korea. North Korea and South Korea both agreed to jointly go with the Winter Olympics with a joint flag, with a march under a unification flag. They want to have a Olympics march with a unification flag. Very good gesture, because in the heated international atmosphere, North Korea and South Korea joining the games and marching with the same flag sends a very positive signal in the international atmosphere. This is very important today because India needs now the present issue. Next thing, for the first Shanghai Cooperation Organization military cooperation meeting, India's first SCO's military cooperation meeting was held at Beijing. India attended. Shanghai Cooperation Organization, SCO. Recently, you all know, India joined in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Recently, India joined in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India, Pakistan recently joined. Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, there is no Turkmenistan. Shanghai Cooperation Organization along with China and Russia. China, Russia, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, India and Pakistan now are the members in SCO. This year SCO is very important because India and Pakistan joined in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. India and Pakistan joined in Shanghai Cooperation Organization. And recently, the first military meeting India attended. Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan have crossed 1 crore. Have crossed 1 crore mark. Every month on 9th, free medical checkups for the pregnant women. Free medical checkups for the pregnant women. It is for better MMR rates. You all know maternal mortality rate is very important sign for India's health sector. To reduce maternal mortality and child and mother health care, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan was launched. On every month, 9 pregnant ladies can have free checkups, medical checkups, and there are many features, and the scheme is performing very well. One of the outstanding schemes for mother and child welfare, Pradhan Mantri Surakshit Matritva Abhiyan. And today, Supreme Court stays ban on screening of Padmavati. 4 states in India, 4 state governments in India banned screening of Padmavati. When Central Board for Film Certification gives a certificate, gives a green signal for the movie. When Central Board for Film Certification gives a green signal for the movie, state governments has to allow their Article 19(1)(a). 19(1)(a) is freedom of speech and expression. Freedom of speech and expression is the most important freedom in the Indian Constitution. It's a fundamental right. Just because there might be a law and order problem, the state government should not stop screening the movie. The reason is freedom of speech and expression and law and order. To protect the freedom of speech and expression and to maintain the law and order, both are the responsibilities of the state. Both are the responsibilities of the state. One cannot be compromised at the cost of other. One cannot be compromised at the cost of other. Here comes the previous judgment of the court. S. Rangarajan versus P. Jagjeevan Ram. S. Rangarajan versus P. Jagjeevan Ram. In this case, state government should not give lame excuses saying that I am unable to protect law and order, that is the reason why I have stopped this. You cannot claim these type of things. State government exists to protect people's rights, and at the same time state government also ensure law and order. This is called dual responsibility, dual duty of the state government. Telangana State Police are going to geotag the houses of thieves and criminals. Geotagging means you can identify the house of the thieves or criminal by using ICT technology. Geotagging the houses. One way it is good, very easy for investigation, very easy for people to identify. Other way, once a thief, always a thief. Once a criminal, always a criminal. You are actually stamping them. Criminals are getting punishment for their crimes. This will result in social ostracism. Society will also tag them. Okay, humans do commit mistakes. You have to punish them. There is no wrong in punishing. But permanently even for their family, for their children, for generations, there will be a geotagging. And you all know Stuartpuram story. Earlier, Stuartpuram in Guntur and Prakasam districts, which was located in the border area of Guntur and Prakasam districts, the British correction colony. It's a correction colony started by Britishers. Even today the stigma have not gone. Even today the stigma have not gone. This geotagging might also result in such a social stigma. Okay, as a civil services aspirants, you should think both the sides. The human angle of a criminal should not always tag them. Okay, and then once a family is tagged, there is a chance that the children might also will go into a different mindset. When society ostracizes them, children will also start hating the society. The family will also start hating the society. Family should not be punished for the crime. So keep thinking on this. This is not on a single issue, but anything. 3 states. Elections are announced. Election dates are announced for 3 states. Nagaland, Meghalaya and Tripura. In India, there are 2 states which were ruled by CPIM. Nagaland, Tripura and Kerala. Tripura and Kerala are the states which were ruled by CPIM. Manik Sarkar, the famous CM of Tripura. In fact, in all indices, Tripura is doing very well. Outstanding performance. In the later sense, some unemployment, some of the problems. But still, this is a test for Manik Sarkar government. And Tripura have 32% of tribal population. It has 32% of tribal population. This is one thing which you have to understand. BJP is also trying to gain some strength. Though the states are very small, the results are going to be significant for India. Though the 3 states are very small, Tripura, Nagaland and Meghalaya, the results are going to show a very good thing for India. And Meghalaya, is, you all know, from last 8 years we have Congress government. In Meghalaya, from last 8 years we have Congress government. What difference now we are going to make it? Let us see. Will Congress continue, or is there any anti-incumbency? And Nagaland, there are various issues, including Naga separatism, and we have to wait and see which government will come in Nagaland. So the 3 elections are very crucial. With respect to Nagaland, it's a well educated, almost good literate state. And last year, you all know, Naga municipalities, women reservation, people started protesting against women reservation in urban local bodies. They don't want women reservation. It's a paradox that a literate state, a state which has good amount of literacy, is questioning women reservation in urban local bodies. And Article 371A of the Indian Constitution gives special protection to Nagaland. Article 371A of the Indian Constitution gives special protection to Nagaland. Next article is about failures of inference. Failures of inference. This article is typically a political philosophy article. Liberalism, populism. Liberalism, populism. In the world, there is a philosophy called liberalism. Liberalism means an ideology of free choices, free markets, laissez-faire economy, individual rights. When we prefer more individual rights, more freedoms, fair markets, laissez-faire economy, free markets, all these things comes under liberal political philosophy, liberal philosophy. And liberalism believes in capitalism. Capitalism means more industries, more profits. And at the same time, liberalism also thinks about various issues. New trend of liberalism is neoliberalism. Neo means individual should be left free in all his affairs. Political affairs, social affairs, cultural affairs. Neoliberal tendency, open life, free life. And populism. Populism means the leaders taking decision for populist scores. For example, Trump came and gave lot many exemptions to capitalists. Okay, liberalism and populism now at loggerheads. Now there is a conflict. 2-3 examples. Number 1, the liberals think that America should be in the climate deal, Paris climate deal. But Trump told he is withdrawing from Paris climate deal. Brexit happened for many reasons, but the reason which was told mostly is xenophobia. They don't want other races people to enter into Britain. There were populism and liberalism. Now liberals don't like this populism. They don't like this populism, where some of the leaders are taking the liberal principles as the advantage and making over certain things. Remember about liberalism, that is enough. You need not bother much about that. Next article is about towards solar powered agriculture. Towards solar powered agriculture. You all know India has a commitment towards renewable energy targets. In future, 175 gigawatts of energy by 2022 should be produced with renewable energy sources. According to INDC's intended nationally determined contributions submitted to Paris climate deal, India committed that by 2030, by the year 2030, 40% of our energy requirements, 40% of our energy requirements will be through renewable energy sources. That means out of energy sources which we are using by 2030, 40% of energy sources should be through renewable energy sources. Now the thing is, why don't we use solar power in agriculture? Because agricultural sector needs lot of power supply, and many times farmers are unable to pay electricity charges. Instead of government providing subsidized electricity, why don't government think about solar powered agriculture? And as you all know, 53% of Indian agriculture is rain fed. 53% of Indian agriculture is rain fed. But the problem is, can individual farmer, a small farmer, afford a solar technology or solar meter, solarization of their pumps? It cannot happen all the time. Only marginal farmers and high farmers who get good yields, they only can afford solar technology, not all the farmers, number one. Number two, let us use solar motors used by solar technology, or we can also use feeders with solarization, agriculture feeders. If not for everything, community solarization or group solar technology for group farming or sharing of solar technology, all these things can be done, viable options. But at the end, governments has to support. Maharashtra government is doing this, Karnataka government is doing this, and also Andhra Pradesh government also promised some of the features of solar help for the farmers. All these things in the long run might help, but in the near future, Indian agriculture have not seen this miracle. India needs a lot of advancement in agriculture sector. That is important. Next article, should the 4 Supreme Court judges have dissented publicly? Do you support the judges? Do you support the judges? This is the debate. In ethics, there will be a question. You are working under a boss. You are a government officer. You are working under a boss. You are a government officer. Do you support when your boss have done something wrong? When your boss have done something wrong, you can question him. Through proper channel, you can approach to the next higher up, or you can settle the issue within the institution. Sometimes you need to have a lot of patience, but as a government servant, you are not supposed to contact media. If you start doing that, if everybody starts doing that, what will happen? What will happen? Immanuel Kant, the famous thinker, told, act only in such a maxim that your action shall be, and at the same time will be, in accordance with universal law. If you take a decision, if everyone else in the world will also take the same decision, if similar problem comes, what will happen to the world? What happens to the public trust on the institution? On the institution as a whole. This first question you have to take care. Second thing, Attorney General should take a call. And all 25 judges should sit and decide. And even they can meet the President. But meeting the press, calling for a press conference, making the people to understand what is going on in the judiciary, because if democracy has to function well, judiciary has to function well. If judiciary has to function well, people should have trust in the judiciary. If public trust in the judiciary was tarnished, people cannot go anywhere for the recourse, because India is running with democracy. But at the same time, some people argue that when institution is doing something wrong, when the topmost person is doing something wrong, why cannot we open up the debate in the public? Let the public know what is going on in the system. Let the public know what is going on in the system. Let the public discuss on it. Let them get some solution. Let it leave to the nation. Let the nation solve the problem. This is other argument. But what is nation? Nation is nothing but spirit of all people. And between the governors and the governed, the only thing is trust. If that is missing, the entire system will collapse. If that is missing, the entire system will collapse. If all the lower judiciary comes out like this from tomorrow, all high courts will come out like this, what will happen to Indian judicial system? This is a question which we have to answer. Okay? The very important current affair today is Agni 5. Agni 5. From last 3-4 years, there are few questions in Agni series in prelims also. Agni 1, Agni 2, Agni 3, Agni 4, Agni 5. Generally remember, Agni 1 is 700, around like that. Agni 2 is 2000, 3 is 3000, 4 is 4000, 5 is 5000 plus. Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM. India's indigenous surface to surface intercontinental ballistic missile, Agni. Here comes, what are the countries which have ICBMs officially? All P5 countries. All P5 countries in the UNSC. US, UK, China, France, Russia got ICBMs, intercontinental ballistic missiles. And from Abdul Kalam Island, also called as Wheeler Island, in Orissa, Agni 5 missile was testified successfully. It has a solid fuel and 3-stage mission. It's a 3-stage mission. You can read about Agni 5 at length. There is a chance of you getting question on a missile. It might be Agni 5, it might be BrahMos, any missile, one missile, they may give as a question. And the last current affair is Bitcoins. The cost of Bitcoins have plummeted sharply, come down. Skeptics are happy because their predictions went right. Skeptics are very happy because their predictions went right. Because Bitcoins have seen undue increase in price, 1000 times, 2000 times. Suddenly they started falling steeply. It means no currency, whether virtual or real, will have sustenance for a long time. And when something sees sudden increase, suddenly it will fall. Suddenly it will fall. Sudden increase means sudden fall. This happens in the markets always. The same prediction went right. These are the important current affairs.